something down below here. You want this down there, Alex? Okay. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
You all packed?
No, haven't even started that yet.
What are you going to bring?
You know, we're going to dress when we go on this trip. Everywhere we go, there'll be a kind of a uniform everybody's wearing in our party. So a lot of shorts and T-shirts because it's going to be really hot and humid. So we want to be prepared for that. We had an orientation earlier in the week, or late last week, I should say. Just talking about all the things that players need to be aware of. Really hydrating well in that environment over there, and then also trying to drink only bottled water, not any other local water. That seems to be a problem. Among other things, the customs and kind of things that you want to make sure you don't do that may be offensive that we would never have any idea about, like pointing your finger, for example.
Really?
Just using an index finger and pointing that like this is offensive over in China. It would be comparable to inappropriate fingers in this country. Just pointing your finger like this, so that's really strange. Because usually I'm saying, hey, Peter, get that guy over there. And I got to be careful what I'm doing when we're coaching.
Have you talked, who is the coach for the Olympic team over there? Have you talked to, have you reached out to any of those guys?
No.
No, it's any of that stuff.
Really, yeah. I've talked to a number of coaches have taken teams over there, and they expected, tell us expect a very physical, aggressive brand of basketball, and that we may not get a lot of calls, but we'll be prepared for that.
Do you have any tape? Are you doing any scouting on these teams?
Well, the two, Tracy, the two university teams we're playing, we have very little. Now, when we go over there, we leave at 1:40 a.m. Wednesday morning. We go to the airport tomorrow night. We'll fly out at 1:40. We arrive at 5 a.m. in Beijing, and by the time we get to the hotel, and they're going to have a little buffet breakfast set up for us. We'll get into the hotel room hopefully by 6:30. And then we're going to let the players sleep for about 5 hours and then get up and go to practice. And in that practice, we're actually going to scrimmage against the team we're going to play, which is part of what they wanted. And they want to be a part of our practice. And this is a cultural exchange. It's not just about us playing basketball. It's about exchanging between the two cultures. And so we want to be as helpful as we can be to help any way to help let them learn more about us as we will learn about them.
You know, tape that practice.
Yeah.
Does that mean you'd be sharing things with their coaches as to how you run practices?
Yeah, but it won't be, for me going over there. I mean, that practice after a 14-hour grueling flight is not going to be, a long practice. I mean, I expect to go over and practice for an hour and a half, do some shooting, get up and down, but it would be actually good for us to scrimmage, so that might be good. Scrimmage against them is, fine.
What have you seen from the little tape you have? We
have no tape.
Oh, you have no tape.
I haven't seen anything. Now, the Sharks, obviously, there's a little more information on them because they're a pro team and they play. But, Max, I don't know how to say Max's last name, played at Cal for a couple of years as their center and has really turned into a pretty good player for them. And the Americans that play for that team, which is our last game, when we're in Shanghai in our third game, they are expected not to be there, not to play in that game. It'll be just the Chinese professionals.
Is that done intendedly so, or?
I have no idea. That's just, the information we got. I think those guys are still home for their brief time that they get to go home, and it's just prior to them coming back to start their pro seasons.
Have you determined who your starters are going to be?
Yeah, I really haven't. We'll probably start some different lineups. We're not going to go there and start the same team all 3 games. I think we'll start some different combinations. It's been hard to say the guys have already won the starting positions. We've only had 10 practices. Or will have had 10 practices.
Will Tony be able to play?
As of right now, I don't expect Tony to play. We're not gonna, he's been out since July 31st. It's improving, it's getting better. He still has a ways to go. And he hasn't practiced since that first practice. And so I don't wanna go over there and having had him not practice and then all of a sudden throw him in a game where the intensity level's even higher and then re-injure it. So it may change. I mean, maybe he will be okay. But we're only a few days away from now from playing a game, so I would say it's doubtful.
But he's going on the trip.
Absolutely.
How's Kyle's thumb?
Kyle's thumb is still being taped rather heavily, and we're being real conservative with it. It's a little uncomfortable for him, I think, to have the tape on. And hopefully by the time we get to the regular season, he'll not have to wear that. But I think it's smart, to be conservative with it. We don't want him to sustain another injury to that thumb, and it was really difficult for him to have to miss 3 months and not being able to play any basketball. But it seems to be doing well.
Any other injuries for him?
No, those are really the two. Shabazz's ankle's been an ongoing thing, and he actually went through the 2 hours skill practice that we had last Tuesday, and hadn't done anything in over a month, and looked good for a guy who hadn't played in a month, but he's still an issue, and so he's continuing to get treatment, continuing to rehab it, continuing to strengthen it. I'm hopeful that it'll be back to full strength here soon.
Are you bringing the walk-ons?
We're bringing some of our walk-ons, yeah. Cleve McCaskill's coming. Nick is coming. And Dave Brown is coming.
Your newest, this Hall brother's not coming?
No, he wasn't here for, you have to have been here and passed at least one class in summer school to be eligible to go on a trip like this as a freshman. And he wasn't here for the first quarter of summer school.
What's the biggest goal for the team on this trip? What are you trying to just gel, or?
Well, you know what? It's this trip. It's been great. The practice, and I think it's helped us in terms of the team get a little head start on our season. That's upon us real soon. So that's been a real positive. And the big goal on this trip is to have fun. I mean, I want our kids to have a great experience, really enjoy the opportunity to see the culture of China. I mean, this is our, when you look at China and how it's risen so quickly economically over the last, 15 years, and where it's going and where it's headed, and how important they are to the overall global economy. It's really interesting, and to see their culture and look what they've done with their sports programs. I mean, from Beijing in 2008 to the medal count this year in the Olympics. I mean, they're really, really an amazing people, and I think it'll be a great learning experience for our team and our players. And we're going to go see the Great Wall of China when we. I'm trying to figure out what day it is. Let's see. Tomorrow we leave on a Wednesday, so I guess we arrive on a Thursday morning. So Friday, their time, Thursday here, we'll be on the Great Wall of China and looking at that. We'll be in the Forbidden City. That whole day, the first full day we're there will be a day of sightseeing, and then the following day we play our first game. And I'll tell you what, if you looked at our schedule, and you guys are looking at it, everything is jam-packed. I mean, we are not going to be sleeping a lot when we're there. There's going to be a lot of activity, and we actually, Molly, who oversees our cheerleading program here, has taken the cheerleaders and the squad over there, I think, 8 times in the last 5 years. So she's a real expert. And she was like, she was talking in the orientation meeting we had last week to the players that one thing you don't want to do is sleep a lot while you're there. I mean, you're only going to be there for a week, so you need to enjoy as much of it as you can in the short amount of time you're going to be there. And it was great advice when I think about it. I mean,
how's the head coach going to react in a game when a player's tired and not playing?
You know what?